6 clues John Wick really is dead after Chapter 4's ending. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to our channel. 6. John Wick's survival would make his Chapter 4 sacrifice meaningless. If John did survive in the John Wick Chapter 4 ending, it would totally undermine the character's sacrifice. John Wick's death was so meaningful for a multitude of reasons, and that's what makes the movie surprisingly emotional. First of all, he intentionally lost the duel to Kane, which meant that he not only saved Kane's life, but that Kane could see his daughter again, something which John emphasized after losing his wife, Helen. John had also come to terms with the possibility of death, because he thought there was a chance that he'd be with Helen in the afterlife. In that respect, John's survival would tarnish everything. 5. An alternate ending where John Wick survives was changed. John Wick Chapter 4 wasn't always supposed to end with John's death, as an alternate ending where John Wick survived was shot. Stahelski revealed, "We had a different ending. The theatrical ending was the ending Keanu and I wanted, but we shot a different ending. We shot an ending where you actually saw John Wick at the end of the movie. The audiences we tested with absolutely preferred the ambiguous ending. Given that not only was John's survival removed from the final cut but that the character's survival tested badly with audiences, John's death couldn't be more definitive." 4. Winston and the Bowery King looked like they were genuinely grieving in the cemetery. While at the cemetery in the final scene of John Wick Chapter 4, which is presumably John's burial, there are a lot of clues that John isn't buried. For starters, the grass is overgrown, and it isn't a fresh grave. Then the dog's sudden knee-jerk reaction raises questions too. However, ultimately, Winston and the Bowery King looked like they were genuinely grieving at John's headstone. When Winston says, "Farewell, my son," it seems as if Winston has genuinely lost a son, not like he's helped fake a death. There's nobody else around to convince, so there's no reason for Winston to fake his emotions. 3. It's unlikely that 2 John Wick movies in a row would end with John faking his death. John Wick faking his death after an extraordinarily emotional final act is one thing, but making that creative decision for a movie after its predecessor ended the exact same way is another. At the end of John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, Winston and John hatch a plan to fake John's death by having him fall from the rooftop terrace of the Continental. That way, the high table won't be so concerned about John. If John survived John Wick Chapter 4, that means that not only will the movie have ended the same way as the threequel, but John will have faked his death for the exact same reason too. 2. Lionsgate is focusing on the John Wick supporting characters instead. Lionsgate couldn't have been more candid about its plans for the John Wick franchise's future, as the studio intends on making countless John Wick spin-offs. John Wick Chapter 4 set up a number of them, such as Akira, Rina Sawayama, Hunting Kane, and a movie about the tracker, Shamir Anderson, and Sophia, Halle Berry, who may or may not be Tracker's mother. The TV spin-off The Continental is scheduled for release in September, and the spin-off movie Ballerina will be released in 2024. The reason Lionsgate is fast-tracking so many spin-offs isn't just to build a franchise but to make up for the huge loss of Keanu Reeves/John Wick. 1. John Wick is returning. But in a prequel. Keanu Reeves is reprising his role as the assassin, but not in a sequel. John Wick will appear in Ballerina, and the character will, of course, be played by Reeves, but the movie is a prequel. Not much has been revealed about Ballerina other than that Ana de Armas is playing the titular female assassin, but the timeframe has been confirmed, and the movie will take place between John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum and John Wick Chapter 4. There were 8 months between the events of those movies, so it makes sense for Wick to appear, and it's yet another clue that John really isn't coming back from the dead. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen, because I'm sure you'll love them.